Hello again, Card Media. It's RJ back with another video. Let's get to it. Today, it is Flashback Friday, as I'm calling it. I'm going to flash back to the year 1974, and I'm going to highlight a lot of things from the top set of 1974 and beyond, so to speak. So, my Mike Schmidt collectible of the day, therefore, is my 1974 Mike Schmidt PSA PSA 8 card. So, big fan of this one. It's centered nicely. You know, got a PSA 8. Funny story about my early years in collecting, late 1980s. I want to say 1989, where I live. I live near the town of Allentown, Pennsylvania, and there's a place up there called the Allentown Fairgrounds, and there was a show at the Allentown Fairgrounds in the fall of '89. Had some big name autograph guests. I won't bore you with that. But I went there looking to buy a Mike Schmidt rookie card. I was on a mission to buy a Mike Schmidt rookie card that day because I had saved up lots of money for my job and my job at Burger King. And I had enough money to go out there, and I thought, for looking at the price guides, I could buy a Mike Schmidt rookie card. I saw this card not knowing it was his second year card. I thought, well, gee, look at this. He's got no mustache. It looks in 1970. This has got to be his rookie card. So I plunked down $75 to get a Mike Schmidt 1974 Topps, which I was sure was his rookie card, and it wasn't. So sad story there, but this is my Topps 1974 Mike Schmidt card. Similarly, Topps likes to maintain its designs with a lot of other releases, because here is another, what you would call a 1974 Mike Schmidt card, but it is not. It is from the 2011 set, an insert celebrating their 60 years of Topps. So it's the 60 years of Topps insert. This was the Mike Schmidt version. There was obviously a whole lot of players that were included in the 60 years of Topps run. This is from 2014. I have no idea what Topps set this was an insert in, but it is his Future Stars. It's a Future Stars set. This is FS1. He was the first one in whatever subset this was, whatever insert set this was. Same picture, a couple little improvements, and a little bit thicker of a card stock. And then just last year, Topps Archives had the 74 design in as one of its featured designs. And here is Mr. Mike Schmidt in the 74 Topps design from 2020 Topps Archives. So those are my Mike Schmidt collectibles from 74. My random baseball collectible I want to show off. I want to show off the 1974 San Diego Padres. This here is a card of pitcher Randy Jones. Randy Jones won the Cy Young for the Padres in '76. This is his standard card of 76. I'm sorry, 74. In 1973, at the end of 73, early into 74, the offseason that year, those years, the Padres decided, they needed a new stadium, went to the city to get one. The city complained, so they said they're going to move and go to Washington, D.C. So it was highly expected that the San Diego Padres could conceivably go to Washington, D.C. So what Topps did was put out a Washington National League variation of these cards in its set. Now, it's interesting, when I was looking through all of these cards and looking through the information on this variation, I thought everybody on the Topps 1974 Padres team cards was pictured with the optional Washington and National League logo versus San Diego and Padres. And that's not true, because it only happened in Series 1. By the time the season started, San Diego had decided to stay. So only your Series 1 card have the Washington and the National League. So what you'll find is there's a number of players, and I'm just going to flip through them here, that have a variation of Washington and National League. One of the big name players does. There's Nate Colbert. But you'll see there's your Willie McCovey one. When Willie McCovey briefly was with the Padres, they made a variation of him. Now, if you're thinking 74 and you're thinking San Diego Padres, you're thinking Dave Winfield. Dave Winfield, his rookie card was 74. He was on the Padres. Why isn't there a Washington National League variation of him? Because Dave Winfield's rookie card came out in the second series of printing for Topps, the second series of cards. So by that time, there was no reason to make the variation. So if you ever see a variation card, and this is all there is, these are all of the cards for which there are those Washington variations. It's only the first series released that year that had it, not the second, which is why you won't see them all. So my trivia question for today, the prize is a 74 prize. I have a Joe Torre card, Hall of Fame manager. Current manager, Dusty Baker, his 74 card. 74 card of Al Oliver, who should be in the Hall of Fame as far as I'm concerned. And then a 74 card of Dick Allen for the White Sox, who will be in the Hall of Fame shortly, I believe. So 4 cards. I'm going to stick with the Joe Torre card because that's what I want to talk about, the trivia question. Joe Torre obviously made it to the Hall of Fame as a manager, but he was a pretty good player. When he stopped being a Met player and became a manager, it's a true or false question like I had with the Monday one. True or false? Joe Torre was at one time a player manager. In other words, he was the manager of the team, but he also participated in playing games, kind of like Pete Rose recently. So, true or false, Joe Torre was a player manager at one time. If false, all you got to say is false, and the answer is done. If true, tell me what year or years he was a player manager and for what team. So be the first person to answer that question correctly. Send me an email at I'll repeat the question in the description below along with my email address, and I will send you these 4 very good player cards from 74. All right. What I want to show off today in keeping a 74 is this. In addition to the team cards, I want to show off real quick what I'm talking about. Every team had your standard team card in the 74 set. Obviously, this is the variation of the Padres team card. But they also have this little subset. I have no idea why they did this. It's simply the team checklist card with some facsimile signatures. It's not even all of the people. And it just had the year and the team name. And if you go back to this Padres card again, let me pull this out, this Padres team card. It didn't have the checklist on the back. It had some stats about the batting and pitching leaders. Wasn't a checklist of the cards. This was a checklist. So for whatever reason, Topps chose to do that in 74. Chose to go with this kind of a design. And these were like random inserts along with the team checklist. They're not numbered. They're not part of the set, so to speak. But here you are. And what's interesting about this, as a set collector, and I try to be a master set collector where feasible, get every variation of everything. That's why I have those Washington National League variations of the Padres cards. Every one of these team checklists has a variation. I do not have the variation of the Braves, but I will show you on the Baltimore Orioles cards what the variation is. So the cards look exactly the same. Flip them over to the back, you'll see again, they look exactly the same. What is the variation then? I'm going to bring them closer a little slowly. So take a look at the copyright date down there, and you will see that you either have 1 or 2 asterisks in front of the TCG copyright. I have no idea why Topps did it this way. I have no idea what the reason was or what the thinking was, but every one of these team checklist signature cards is available in the 1 and the 2 asterisk variety. They are not particularly valuable as far as a premium one over the other. There's as far as I am aware, there is no preferred version. Most collectors, in fact, don't even know that there exists this little variation. It's only us wacko master set guys who know anything about this. So I just thought that was a little thing to show off. And again, it's every team from back in 1974. Probably would have been 24 teams at that time. The reason I say that is because we're at 30 teams now. And after 1974, there were 3 rounds of expansion of 2 teams. That would have been in 77 when they added the Blue Jays and the Mariners. It would have been 93 when they added the Marlins and the Rockies. And then it would have been 97 when they added the Rays and the Diamondbacks. So since we're at 30 teams now and you take off those 6, it's probably likely that there are 24 cards here and 48 total. I do not have all of the variations. You can see here I don't have the Braves. There's a couple other in there. So, but again, I'm just highlighting some 1974 information for the 74 set. Hope you all enjoyed that. Hope I wasn't too long-winded. I get excited about these set things, you know me. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Consider trying out for the trivia question. Some pretty cool 74 cards up for grabs here. I'll repeat it repeat the question, like I said, in the description below and follow my email. So reach out and try and win that. I want to say thanks to everybody again for taking some time with me today. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. And check back soon for another video. I hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.